U.S. defense officials linking Iran to those drone attacks. Meanwhile, Tehran says there will be no talks with the U.S., putting the president at pivotal crossroads. He says he does not want a war.
We're having some very strong studies done, but it's certainly looking that way at this moment, and we'll let you know. As soon as we find out definitively, we'll let you know. Do I want war? I don't want war with anybody. I'm somebody that would like not to have war. We have the strongest military in the world.
Here's the cover of the New York Post this morning saying it all. The headline, boiling point.
Lucas Tomlinson has the story live from the Pentagon as we begin a new hour there. Lucas, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. U.S. officials say the attacks were launched from Iranian soil, but so far they've presented no evidence. Defense Secretary Mark Esper has made 2 trips to the White House since Sunday to present military options, but the president says he's in no rush to make a decision.
A lot of options, but I'm not looking at options right now. We want to find definitively who did this. We're dealing with Saudi Arabia. We're dealing with the Crown Prince and so many other of your neighbors. And we're all talking about it together. We'll see what happens.
These satellite photos released by the Trump administration show at least 17 direct hits at 2 major Saudi oil facilities, slashing the kingdom's oil output by half, or about 5% of the world's oil supply. The president has dispatched Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to Saudi Arabia. He recently said in part, quote, "There is no evidence the attacks came from Iran." U.S. officials say previous attacks from Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen only involved 1 or 2 drones at a time targeting southern Saudi Arabia. As you can see from this map, the new attacks came from up to 20 drones and cruise missiles and hit a area much further north near the Persian Gulf, not far from Iran, who denied responsibility. But not every U.S. ally is convinced Iran is responsible. France's foreign minister said a short time ago it's still not clear where the attacks came from, Bill.
So we're hearing about more attacks in Afghanistan today, Lucas.
That's right, Bill. There are 2 major attacks today in Afghanistan. One hit a rally at Afghanistan President Ashraf Ghani's campaign rally. There are elections later this month. Up to 24 people were killed and dozens wounded. There was another suicide attack in Kabul. And this all comes after the Pentagon has identified the Army Green Beret who was killed in combat operations in Wardak Province, a known Taliban hotbed. His name is Sergeant First Class Jeremy W. Griffin, 41 years old, from Greenbrier, Tennessee, and he was on his 4th combat deployment, Bill. And this all comes as President Trump scrapped those peace talks with top Taliban and Afghan officials at Camp David and made note that, during the 9/11 honor ceremony last week that the U.S. military is ramping up military operations against the Taliban.